Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift dropped into theaters in 2006 and completely changed everything we thought we knew about the franchise. But what happened behind the scenes is even wilder than the sideways action on screen. Today, we're breaking down 21 weird facts about this cult classic, from casting disasters that almost destroyed careers to a secret deal that saved two entire franchises. We'll uncover hidden cameos, illegal filming operations, and one bonus fact at the end that proves this movie was never supposed to exist at all. Buckle up. It's time to drift back into the archives with RewatchClub. Number 1. The 23-year-old high school student. Here's something that still makes fans do a double take. Lucas Black was 23 years old when he played 17-year-old Sean Boswell.
Sean Boswell, Lucas Black starts hitting on my girlfriend. I've kind of got the cutest girl in school person.
The Alabama-born actor was cast despite being clearly too old for the role, and the age gap only got more absurd as the franchise continued. When Black reprised the role for Furious 7 in 2015, which chronologically takes place immediately after Tokyo Drift, he was 32 years old, still playing the same high school senior. The producers tried everything from wardrobe choices to camera angles to make him appear younger, but audiences weren't fooled. Black has since joked about it, but at the time, the casting raised eyebrows across Hollywood. Still, his natural charisma and that unmistakable southern drawl won fans over anyway. Number 2. The real Drift King is hiding in plain sight. One of the best hidden Easter eggs in Tokyo Drift sits right there in the open. During the scene where Sean is learning to drift at the docks, two elderly fishermen watch from the pier and comment on his skills. One of them mutters the now iconic line, "You call that drifting?" That fisherman is Keiichi Tsuchiya, the actual Drift King of Japan. Tsuchiya invented the sport of drifting and inspired the legendary anime Initial D.
When I was in junior high school, I watched the driving of Kunimitsu Takahashi and admired him.
Director Justin Lin knew exactly what he was doing by putting the godfather of drifting in that scene. When Sean finally improves, Tsuchiya gives an approving nod and says, "Not bad. For drift enthusiasts, that subtle approval from the master himself is worth more than any trophy." Tsuchiya also served as the film's stunt coordinator. Number 3. Channing Tatum's career worst audition. Before he became Magic Mike, Channing Tatum desperately wanted to be the Drift King.
Known as the Drift King, who started the drifting phenomenon.
The actor auditioned for the role of Sean Boswell and has since called it the worst audition of his entire career. In a 2016 interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Tatum confessed he wanted the role specifically because he wanted to visit Tokyo. The audition went so badly that he stopped halfway through and walked out. He forgot his lines, started sweating profusely, and completely froze. Director Justin Lin later confirmed that despite the disaster, Tatum actually made it into his top 3 candidates. Sometimes the worst auditions still get you close. Lucas Black eventually won the role, and Tatum went on to find fame elsewhere with Step Up just months later. Number 4. Vin Diesel's genius trade deal. Vin Diesel's cameo at the end of Tokyo Drift isn't just a cool surprise. It's the result of one of the smartest deals in Hollywood history. After skipping Too Fast, Too Furious entirely, Diesel agreed to appear in Tokyo Drift under one condition. Instead of his usual acting fee, he wanted Universal to give him the rights to the Riddick character. The studio agreed without hesitation. Years later, Diesel called this one of the best deals in Hollywood history. He got 2 franchises out of it, Fast and Furious, which Universal thought was finished, and Riddick, which they never planned to make again. That 30-second cameo ultimately saved both franchises and put Diesel back in the driver's seat for the next decade of blockbusters. If you're enjoying these facts so far, do us a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps us keep bringing you more content like this. Number 5. Han's character existed before Fast and Furious. Sung Kang's character Han isn't a Fast and Furious original. He first appeared in Justin Lin's 2002 indie film Better Luck Tomorrow, a crime drama about Asian American high school students involved in petty theft and eventually murder. When Lin was hired for Tokyo Drift, he pitched bringing Han into the franchise. Universal was skeptical about putting an Asian American actor in such a prominent role, so Lin showed them Better Luck Tomorrow.
There should be no flaws or weaving during drifting. Slide the car as thrilling as possible.
The studio was so impressed with Kang's screen presence that they agreed. Both Lin and Kang consider the 2 versions of Han to be the same character, making Better Luck Tomorrow an unofficial prequel to the entire franchise. Han's constant snacking in the films is actually an Easter egg referencing his chain smoking in Better Luck Tomorrow, which Universal wouldn't allow in a PG-13 movie. Number 6. The crew member who went to jail. Filming in Tokyo proved nearly impossible because Japan doesn't issue traditional film permits. Director Justin Lin wanted authentic footage of Shibuya Crossing, the most crowded intersection in the world. So he did what Dom Toretto would do. He broke the law. The crew filmed guerrilla style without permission, and when police arrived to make arrests, something unexpected happened. A crew member Lin didn't recognize stepped forward and claimed to be the director. Universal had secretly hired a fall guy whose entire job was to take the blame and spend a night in jail if necessary. Lin didn't even know this person existed until that moment. The fall guy spent the night in a Japanese jail cell while Lin escaped with his footage. True family loyalty right there. Number 7. Joseph Gordon-Levitt almost starred. Before Lucas Black and Channing Tatum, director Justin Lin had his heart set on Joseph Gordon-Levitt for the role of Sean Boswell. Lin wanted to make Sean half Japanese and met with Gordon-Levitt personally in an editing room to pitch him the vision. Universal executives shot it down, worried that an actor known primarily for TV sitcoms like Third Rock from the Sun couldn't carry a major blockbuster.
Tokyo is the fashion capital on this side of the planet. Right now, imagine you've been posing all day. That's a lot of hard work.
The studio wanted someone with more action credibility. After Gordon-Levitt was rejected and Tatum bombed his audition, Lucas Black was cast. Gordon-Levitt went on to become a major star in Inception and The Dark Knight Rises, proving Universal's concerns were wildly off base. It's fascinating to imagine how different the franchise might look today. Number 8. 249 cars were destroyed. The body count for automobiles in Tokyo Drift was staggering. A total of 249 cars were wrecked, crashed, or completely destroyed during production, more than any previous Fast and Furious film. The production team built multiple copies of every hero car, knowing they'd be demolished during stunts. 11 copies of Sean's 1971 Monte Carlo were constructed just for the opening race scene. Toyo Tires donated 4,000 tires for filming, and roughly half were actually used.
The car I use to drift right now is called an AE86. It was made in 1983.
Ray's Engineering contributed 170 Volk racing wheels. The sheer logistics of coordinating that much automotive carnage required a dedicated team working around the clock. By the time cameras stopped rolling, the wreckage could have filled a junkyard. And we'll get to one very special car that somehow survived the destruction in our bonus fact. Number 9. The Mustang's Japanese Heart. The 1967 Ford Mustang that Sean builds for the final race represents something deeper than muscle car glory.
It's not easy to pick one type of car I like for drifting. I prefer a Ford Mustang.
Under that American hood sits a Japanese Nissan RB26 engine, transplanted from the destroyed Silvia S15. This wasn't just a plot point. The production team actually built a real, functioning RB26 swapped Mustang for the film. The symbolism was intentional. Sean, an American outsider, has to embrace Japanese culture to win. The engine swap took 2 months to complete and reportedly produced around 500 horsepower. 6 Mustangs were used during production, and remarkably, every single one survived filming without being destroyed.
I'm basically this kid that's family's wealthy beyond their means, and
the hero car with the actual RB26 engine was later sold and now sits in the Volo Auto Museum in Chicago, one of the most unique muscle cars ever built for Hollywood. Number 10. Han's RX-7 was already famous. Han's iconic orange and black Mazda RX-7 with the Veilside Fortune body kit wasn't built for the movie.
But there's another, so Fujita Engineering, they make a number of kits for this car.
It was already a celebrity. Veilside originally created the car for the 2005 Tokyo Auto Salon, where it won the Grand Prix award as the best vehicle in the entire show. Universal spotted it during location scouting and immediately bought it. The original color was dark red, but the studio repainted it, House of Color Sunset Pearl Orange, for filming. 9 RX-7s were used during production, but only 2 survived. Just recently in July 2025, one of those surviving hero cars sold at auction for $1.2 million, making it one of the most expensive Mazdas ever sold. The car's value has only grown as Tokyo Drift transformed from box office disappointment to cult classic. Number 11. The Hulk van required Marvel's permission. Twinkie's ridiculous Hulk-themed Volkswagen Touran wasn't just a random design choice. Director Justin Lin was a massive fan of the old Incredible Hulk television series, specifically an episode where the Hulk bursts out of a vehicle. To recreate that image on the van's panels, Universal had to negotiate directly with Marvel for licensing rights. This was 2006, before Disney owned Marvel and before the MCU existed. The collaboration turned what could have been a lawsuit into an officially sanctioned Marvel reference. Those fist and foot dents punching through the van's doors were custom panels specifically approved by Marvel.
And in this video, I'll be guiding you land by land through Universal Studios Florida for 2026.
The actual van used in filming now sits on permanent display at Universal Studios Orlando, right next to the Incredible Hulk roller coaster. The purple fuzzy interior reportedly remains intact. Number 12. The script was originally about Dom solving a murder. The Tokyo Drift we know almost never happened. Writer Chris Morgan's original pitch was radically different. In the first script treatment, Dominic Toretto was the main character, traveling to Tokyo to learn drifting while simultaneously solving a murder mystery. Universal rejected this idea because they wanted a younger cast to attract teenage audiences. They specifically demanded a high school setting, which is why we got Sean Boswell instead. The murder subplot was scrapped entirely in favor of the Yakuza conflict. Looking back, it's almost impossible to imagine Dom as a student of drifting rather than the all-knowing patriarch he'd become. Sometimes studio interference actually improves a film, even if it frustrates the creative team at the time. If you're still with us and loving these facts, consider subscribing. We break down your favorite films just like this every week. Number 13. The name Han Solo is a Star Wars joke. Both Sung Kang and Justin Lin have confirmed that Han's full name, Han Solo, is a deliberate play on Han Solo from Star Wars. The name is meant to be a fake identity the character uses,
Brought Han back, and the fact that it all happened, now Han gets a chance to come back.
which explains why federal databases in later films only have limited information on him. When Han was revealed to be alive in F9, the hashtag #HanIsAlive trended worldwide, confusing Star Wars fans who thought it referred to Han Solo's death in The Force Awakens. The dual fandom collision became an internet phenomenon. Lin always intended the name as a loving tribute to the original space smuggler, both characters sharing a similar cool, laid-back demeanor. It's the kind of deep-cut reference that rewards paying attention. Number 14. Paul Walker was rejected for being too old. The reason Paul Walker didn't return for Tokyo Drift isn't because he didn't want to. Universal told him he was too old.
There's people actually answering the phone for you. Look where we are. We are in the gates of Universal Studio.
The studio wanted to pivot toward a younger demographic after Too Fast, Too Furious underperformed at the box office. Executives believed Walker, who was in his 30s, couldn't convincingly play alongside high school characters. This decision seemed short-sighted at the time, and looks even worse in retrospect, considering they then cast 23-year-old Lucas Black as a teenager anyway. Walker's absence created the opening for new characters like Han and Sean, which inadvertently enriched the franchise's future, though sometimes getting rejected is the best thing that can happen to a story. Number 15. The Shibuya scene was mostly digital. That breathtaking drift sequence through Shibuya Crossing looks authentic because they used real Tokyo footage, but the actual cars were never there. After the guerrilla filming operation got the crew kicked out, the production team had to get creative. They built an elaborate recreation of the intersection on a Los Angeles parking lot, then used cutting-edge visual effects to composite real Shibuya footage around the cars. The film featured 768 visual effects shots, more than 5 times the original Fast and the Furious. VFX artists used LiDAR scanning technology to create accurate 3D maps of both the Tokyo locations and the cars themselves. High dynamic range images captured on location provided reflections that made the CGI seamless. Most viewers have no idea they're watching a digital Tokyo. Number 16. Justin Lin refused to make a racist movie. When Justin Lin first read the Tokyo Drift script, he nearly walked away. The original screenplay was filled with what Lin called cliched, out-of-context Asian imagery, including temples, Buddhas, and racist jokes. Lin told the studio the script was offensive and outdated. To his surprise, Universal told him to change whatever he wanted. Lin removed the stereotypical elements and insisted on creating authentic Asian characters rather than caricatures. He brought in Sung Kang as Han, specifically because he wanted an Asian actor who could be the cool guy in a major Hollywood blockbuster. Lin's refusal to compromise transformed Tokyo Drift from potential embarrassment into a film that actually celebrated Japanese car culture with respect. Number 17. The Mona Lisa car cost lives. Han's beloved Nissan Silvia S15, nicknamed the Mona Lisa, was described in the film as the most beautiful drift car ever built. That beauty came with real consequences. The Silvia that Sean destroys in his first race was a genuine Japanese import with a transplanted RB26 engine. Multiple copies were built for filming, and watching them get wrecked was painful for the crew members who'd spent weeks perfecting them. The Sea West body kit, Ganador mirrors, and custom paint job represented months of careful work.
Mufflers are specifically built to accommodate mid-range torque engine, bottom end to mid-torque.
When Sean crashes into the parking garage pillars, the production team was actually destroying cars worth tens of thousands of dollars each. The scene works because the loss feels genuinely devastating, both for the characters and the people who built them. Number 18. The film was almost released direct-to-video. Tokyo Drift came dangerously close to skipping theaters entirely. With no Vin Diesel, no Paul Walker, and a relatively unknown cast, Universal considered releasing it straight to DVD. The franchise seemed dead after Too Fast, Too Furious disappointed expectations. What saved it was a series of surprisingly positive test screenings. Audiences responded enthusiastically to the drifting sequences and Han's character. The studio decided to take a chance on a theatrical release, but kept the budget relatively low at $85 million. Even then, Tokyo Drift became the lowest-grossing film in the franchise, making only $159 million worldwide. It took years for audiences to recognize it as the secret gem that revitalized everything that came after. Number 19. The Teriyaki Boys song was produced by Pharrell. That impossibly catchy I Wonder If You Know theme song wasn't just thrown together. The track was co-written and produced by Pharrell Williams, alongside the Japanese hip-hop group Teriyaki Boys. Pharrell personally crafted the beat to capture the energy of Tokyo's street racing scene.
And it's amazing. It's actually phenomenal to be in there, to be thrown around like a little, piece of, chicken, really.
The song became an instant cultural phenomenon, introducing Western audiences to Japanese hip-hop while simultaneously becoming a meme that's persisted for nearly 2 decades. The lyrics blend English and Japanese, mirroring Sean's journey as an outsider learning to navigate Tokyo. Pharrell understood that the soundtrack needed to feel authentically Japanese while remaining accessible to American audiences. That balance made the song iconic and cemented Tokyo Drift's place in pop culture history. Don't forget to drop a comment telling us which fact surprised you the most. We read every single one. Number 20. Han's death was never supposed to be permanent. When Han's RX-7 explodes during the chase sequence, audiences assumed the character was gone forever. But Justin Lin always planned for Han to return. The director deliberately wrote Han's death as ambiguous, leaving room for resurrection. The subsequent films were technically prequels, set before Tokyo Drift chronologically.
A two-tone veil side, it's like Tokyo Drift,
which allowed Han to appear in Fast and Furious, Fast 5, and Fast and Furious 6 despite being dead. When fans launched the hashtag Justice for Han campaign demanding the franchise address his murder, Lin listened. F9 finally revealed that Han faked his death with help from Mr. Nobody. The beloved character had been hiding for years, waiting for the right moment to return. Lin had been playing the longest game in franchise history. Number 21. Bonus fact. The entire movie exists because of a $25 million rejection. Here's the fact that puts everything into perspective. Tokyo Drift only exists because Vin Diesel turned down $25 million to star in Too Fast, Too Furious. That's right, Universal offered Diesel an enormous payday to return for the second film, and he walked away. At the time, Diesel felt sequels were beneath him. He wanted to focus on passion projects like The Chronicles of Riddick. Universal moved forward without him, and Too Fast, Too Furious underperformed. Desperate to salvage the franchise, the studio greenlit Tokyo Drift with a completely new direction. They hired Justin Lin, an indie director with zero blockbuster experience. They brought in unknown actors, they moved the entire story to Japan, and they created the foundation for what would become one of the highest-grossing franchises in cinema history. Had Diesel taken that $25 million, there would be no Tokyo Drift, no Han, no drift culture explosion, and possibly no franchise revival at all. Sometimes saying no is the most important creative decision someone can make. Tokyo Drift was supposed to be the end. Instead, it became the beginning of something far bigger than anyone imagined. A film that flopped at the box office has become a cult favorite, beloved by car enthusiasts and casual fans alike. It introduced drifting to mainstream audiences, gave us Han, one of the franchise's most beloved characters, and proved that the Fast and Furious universe could survive without its original stars.
In the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, the part I had in the film is kind of a mentor to Sean.
So here's a little challenge for you. If you made it this far, prove you're part of the family. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment Drift King below so we know you're one of us. And if you want even more secrets from the franchise that started it all, check out our video on the Fast and the Furious 2001 right here on the channel. Trust us, there are facts in there that will blow your mind. Which moment from Tokyo Drift still gives you chills? Which character deserved more screen time? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, this is RewatchClub, reminding you that life is best lived 1/4 mile at a time.